In this video, we're going to show you how to flush your power steering fluid and pump. It's super easy. Let's get to it. To flush your power steering fluid, all you need are these common tools. You'll need a fluid pump to pump the old fluid out and a funnel to put the new fluid in. You'll need tongue and groove pliers to take off the clamp holding the return line in place and a tube to flush the power steering fluid into a catch can. And of course, you'll need new power steering fluid. The reason you want to change your power steering fluid is because over time it will get saturated with impurities. By changing the fluid, you remove these impurities and drastically increase the life expectancy of your power steering pump. You can find the correct type of power steering fluid in your owner's manual, so make sure you verify this. Finally, you'll need a jack and jack stands to easily change the power steering fluid. Or if you don't have those, we're going to show you a super easy trick with 2 pieces of cardboard that works just as good, so stay tuned. The first step is to locate the power steering fluid reservoir. It's usually located under the hood on the driver's side, and it's indicated by a steering wheel symbol. If you're not sure you've got the right one, you can always look up its location in your owner's manual. Before opening the reservoir, always wipe everything down so no dirt or debris can fall in. Then remove the cap and check if the opening is clear. Some cars have a little filter that you need to take out before you can access the power steering fluid. Then grab a cup or container and your fluid pump and pump the old power steering fluid out. With the old fluid out, you can clearly see the difference with the new fluid. The old fluid is dark and murky instead of transparent because of all the contaminants it absorbed. Although the reservoir is empty now, there is still fluid in the power steering pump itself and in the hoses. On the bottom or side of the reservoir, you can see 2 hoses. A low-pressure supply line going from the reservoir to the power steering pump and a low-pressure return line coming from the power steering box. This third line with the sealed ends is a high-pressure line running from the power steering pump to the power steering box. To flush the power steering system, you need to disconnect the return line. Because we don't have much room, we're first going to turn the clamp sideways so we can squeeze the tabs together with our tongue and groove pliers more easily and slide it down. With the clamp removed, you can take off the return line. If it's stuck, the rubber is probably sticking, so in that case you want to gently pry a dull screwdriver along the edge of the hose to unstick it, or even spray some penetrating oil in there to facilitate it. And if it's really stuck, you can always try to soften the hose a bit with a hot air gun. When the return hose finally starts to slide off, make sure to place some rags underneath because there is still some power steering fluid in the tube that will come spilling out. Then what we like to do is wrap a bolt in a nitrile glove and jam it in the return port to close it off completely. You need to do this because we're going to have to fill the reservoir again, and if you don't close the return port, you can't fill the reservoir. Then grab the tube with a connector piece and connect it to the return line. With the return line extended, run it all the way to a catch can or bottle so you don't spill any fluid. If you change your fluids regularly, you don't need to do a full flush. So we'll link to a separate video on the easiest way to change your power steering fluid in the description below, or you can click the pop-up on your screen. Now put a funnel in and fill the reservoir with fresh fluid. With the cap back on, it's time to flush the power steering fluid. If you have a jack and jack stands, put your car on those and make sure you can turn your wheels all the way left and right. If you can't put your car up on jack stands, grab 2 pieces of cardboard that are a bit larger than the contact area of your wheel and place them stacked on each other in front of your wheel. Do this on the other side as well and drive on them. Now you can easily turn your wheels left and right. The cardboard reduces friction and prevents wear or damage to the tires and ground. With everything connected and the engine running, turn your wheels left and right once or twice. That's because the power steering fluid reservoir isn't big and will drain quickly. Make sure you don't drain the reservoir completely. You don't want to pull air in your lines. Just look how dark the old contaminated fluid looks. Then fill the reservoir back up and repeat the process. The idea is that you remove all the old fluid and flush out the gunk and impurities that might be circulating in your power steering system. Keep doing this until you see fresh fluid coming through the line. When the fluid looks new, pinch or fold the transparent line so fluid doesn't pour out of the line when disconnecting it. With the extension line disconnected, it's time to reconnect the return line to the reservoir. Remove the plug from the return port and quickly slide the return line over to minimize the amount of fluid spilling out. Perfect. Barely anything poured out. Then slide the hose clamp back in place. Finally, you can fill your reservoir with fresh fluid and close it back up again. But make sure your fluid is topped to the full line. If you have a dipstick like ours, make sure you fill it to the cold or hot full indication depending on your engine temperature. That's all there is to it. Now you can flush your power steering fluid. Thanks for watching. More videos are on the way, so be sure to like, comment, and share this video. It really helps us out a lot. Our content wouldn't be possible without the amazing support of our patrons and YouTube channel members, whose crew you can join via the links in the description to see our schedule, vote on future videos, get behind-the-scenes sneak peeks, and much more. This is Classic Car Maintenance, and we'll see you on the next one.